time no talk.
Hey,
Hi there,
everyone.
man.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to 5D All Day. I am Danielle Kane. I'm the host of this awesome podcast on spirit calling, and we're excited to meet for our monthly conversation. So I just wanted to introduce myself and welcome everybody from the spirit calling community to quickly introduce themselves, and then we'll get started on the conversation. I would like to lead off with Pamela.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for everyone for joining today. It's so good to see your faces and to experience your energy. And I'm hoping that some people are finding us on YouTube as our channels are growing. We've had kind of an energy boost in the platform over the past couple months, right, Dina? I would say.
Yeah.
Started in June, started escalating in July, and then August has been amazing. So I'm happy to have everybody here today. So welcome.
Yay. Susan, why don't you lead us off next too?
Um, I've been I've known Pam since I think she started this whole journey a long time ago, and I sort of come in and I come out. When I'm here, I'm really excited to be because I can feel everybody's energy. But yes, every single one's here is for a purpose. We're all on that journey, and we're all here to carry that love and that light and extend it out into the world. So nice to be here.
Wonderful. Thank you for showing up today.
You can feel
Dina.
it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dina. Yeah, super excited to be here. We always have the most amazing conversations and never know where they're going to lead, but we always leave much higher frequency, learning something, and just really great connection. So love 5D all day.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. So good to have you here today too. Love your beautiful radiant energy. So thank you. All right, Miss Awakening Mass Meditations, Nicole.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Gibbs. I'm super excited to be here and being a part of Spirit Calling. It's one of my favorite things to keep me high vibed and connected with people of like minds and like hearts. And so it's just so good to connect with everybody and just check in every once in a while, see where we're all at. And it's just funny, we can always agree we're always about the same place, which is not surprising, but it's just reassuring. So it's just so nice to have these conversations, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And I loved how you called it a check-in because that's really what it is. And we can all share and kind of blast it out into the universe, however it's received, right?
Yeah, it's really nice to
Absolutely.
have that, these
Absolutely.
regular just getting together with people that are your tribe essentially, because it's hard to find that real connection, not just like scrolling or reading or something, but having that real tangible connection is just something else. I love it.
Same here. Well, I don't know if you guys saw in our 5D all day event page or group chat room, but I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about what Pamela's been up to this month. She kind of mentioned a lot of stuff energetically, so we can all be clued in on some of the excitement. But I also wanted to talk individually with you today about some things that you've been going through, whether it's a challenge or a positive, or you're on the brink of something great. So we can all kind of come together and take that big jump. So we can transition into what Susan said earlier, that 5D, it's there. So I'm excited to hear what you guys are up to. But to start off, Pamela, can you please share? I mean, you've been keeping me in the loop with all of your channeled messages and just you've gone viral, girl. So
Yeah,
I'd
going
love for
viral.
you to share with
Okay.
our audience today and just our spirit calling group about what's been going on. And I know you and Dean have been working together too, so you guys can piggyback off of each other as well.
Yeah. So who remembers? Let's see, Susan. Who remembers way back when I said that I had a vision
Yeah.
that this would be global, that people in small boxes, big boxes would be connected, and we would be, supporting people through their spiritual awakening journey. And I feel like the beginnings of the next phase of actually doing that have started opening up, and it's absolutely amazing. And for anybody who feels like, the engine what is that phrase? Like the engine that is just trying and moving and keeps
Little
going
engine that
forward,
could.
and the little you're just like trying, but add a juggler on top of that, and then I have my feet over here in this business, and they're like, that's me. And I feel like something shifted, and there's clarity, and there's connection, and there's alignment, and there's like, moreover, the biggest thing I feel is that people are sensing truth, and they're feeling it from these messages that the council are giving. And that feels amazing. It feels amazing. And I know that that's because I pushed through something that was really kind of a barrier for me. And I pushed through the fear, and spirit just went like this, gave me a kick and said, come on now, it's time, move it. What are you doing, girl? Get it. And I answered, and so I'm going to continue to move forward in that direction, and listen to what I'm hearing, and connecting more people to each other. It's fascinating. So for those of you, I've been sharing, I created a new group called Premonitions, or I think Global Insights, Premonitions, Updates, and Visions. And I was told to start sharing my visions, start sharing all the things that I've been experiencing for the past 4 years. And I did. And that one video went viral immediately. And then it just took off into me continuing to do it every other day. And then I formed a whole new process around it. And I'm building a funnel around it. And people are coming from TikTok because they want to know more truth. They want to hear the messages from the council. They want to understand what's happening in our world, and they feel and resonate with spirit. It's them coming through and kind of holding space, and giving encouragement. So it's not all premonitions and visions. It's unity, it's love, it's understanding, it's holding people in a place where they are, and saying, hey, this is what's coming also, and we're going to be here for you, and we're all going to be here for you. So yeah, it's unbelievable. Did I even say anything? Because I'm like on fire in my head. I'm like, I don't even know what I just said. Yeah, it's cool. I posted a video last night. Every time I get scared about posting a video, it's like 10,000 views by the time I wake up. Like it's not even 24 hours yet. It's crazy. It's amazing.
I find, and whether this is your case or not, but the Lionsgate portal,
yes, it is.
I have been aware of it, has been the biggest shifts in my life every year for the past 3 years.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And this was an energetic month for you and spirit calling and this community and the people. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And I love the messages. I'm so proud of you, knowing you as well, and seeing you get started and knowing what this was all about, because at first it is kind of, you're not sure what you're entering into. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like a rebirth. It's like, what is this? Oh, and then you start to think a different way. You start to hear the information from a different perspective and in your like cells.
Yeah. You still don't know what I'm getting into.
Yeah. It's you just said you didn't even know it was coming out. It just like kind of comes out.
I don't still know where this train's going, right?
There's a lot of WTFs floating around on the text. Like,
yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah. But I have to tell you, I was at a business luncheon. I don't know if I told this story last time we were on the call. I may have. I was meeting someone, a potential strategic partner for my other business. And I was in a Seasons 52, a beautiful chain restaurant. And on over here, she gets up to go to the restroom, and I suddenly hear this conversation. I hear spirit. And then I hear something, well, your body is just a house for your spirit. And something took over me. I went in my business card. I got my spirit calling business card, stuck it through some foliage, and I dropped it on their table. And they were like looking at me like, and I said, you just said spirit, look at the card. And they started smiling. But when I went to leave, I walked around to the table, and it was this minister, this reverend, and his wife. And I started telling them about spirit calling, and he's looking at me and he goes, I am feeling a shift. He was an older gentleman, very beautiful older gentleman. He said, I'm feeling a shift in my teachings. I'm feeling a shift. I want to teach the teachings of Jesus. I want to teach love. People are sitting and they're not like living the practice of what this religion that I've been teaching. Like, it was amazing. And I told him the story of spirit calling, and I told him about the vision with my house, and I told him how I moved, everything I've done on blind faith. And he looked at me and he said, you really believe this, don't you? You believe it. And I said, I believe it so much that I live it. Like, so that is the testament for all of us, is there's this inner knowing and this desire. I mean, Susan, from the last time I saw her a month ago, your vibration has just jumped,
100%.
That's
I
by
can feel it.
listening.
Yeah.
I see it as soon as you got
Yeah.
on. It's like you hear, to anyone who's new, anyone who's listening to us on YouTube right now, you feel a pull. You feel a pull. Listen to it. Keep
Mhm.
listening to it and listening to it, and watch things show up and change in your life. And that's what's happening
Mhm.
for
Well,
all
and
of us.
I wanted to say something too regarding what you were saying, that you live it. Me personally, I didn't know what it was like to know what my inner guidance wanted me to do, because I was
Yeah.
constantly following the rules of everybody else and just trying to survive. And then when I started to listen, it was so clear. And it's like, so we all have to just pause for a minute and be like, let's tap into that, because it's amazing how you're guided every day. And in
And
your life,
also also how you respond to situations.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
I share with you something that
absolutely.
happened just last night?
Yes.
Yes.
We had gone out to dinner. There is four couples, so there's eight of us. And one of the women in that group, and I'll just say she's a right-wing fanatic. I'll just say that. It's just we don't talk politics, we just ignore it, you know. And somehow last night it ended up something happened that she stood up and screaming at the top of her lungs how awful we were, and she couldn't stand
Oh,
this, and she picked up her purse and she walked out.
oh my.
And normally I would just be knots inside of my stomach, I would just, what's going, but I didn't. I just looked at her with love and I just let her go, and I felt such peace and calm inside of myself.
Oh,
Well, this morning she texted everybody, apologizing and everything. But I think we're going to meet more and more people who are going to try to press our buttons,
Mhm.
and it's how we respond. And I think
Yeah.
that they'll.
That's a great
I
example.
agree.
Great
It
example.
is.
I
It
I like
actually
is.
it.
was just, if I can comment on the end of that, I was just reading, actually can't remember the book, but they were just talking about this same thing, how people will be coming to you to challenge you, essentially, to see how you do react, because that's
Yeah.
your challenge, to see how you're going to level up. How are you going to
Mhm.
approach these situations that typically make you feel like you have knots in your stomach or vibrating in your throat or whatever it is that makes you feel anxious? But instead, we're realizing that, okay, here's my other challenge. Now, what can I do to react differently and to have
Right.
peace and share
Right.
love rather than? So it's almost like a gift in a way, that you're getting these challenges to level up quicker, essentially, to test how you're going to
Yeah.
react. So it's, again, the reaction, Susan, is so right on that. But I was just
Yeah.
reading about that and it's just spot on.
And we're
Absolutely.
going to be
So
tested over
good.
and over till we get it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
Here's
Exactly. Exactly.
Michael. Here's our new member, Michael.
Hi,
And
Michael.
hi, Michael. Welcome.
I just want to add on something too. I just viewed a podcast interview. She sent me the link today, and I was listening to my 2024 prediction video that I forgot all about. And it's talking about that, Susan. So having compassion and love and empathy for these people that are they're being unraveled.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
world, they're seeing all of the discrepancies in the stories and the belief systems and all the things that were put in front of them for all these years that don't make sense. It's unraveling who they are, because they've stuck that stake in the ground, and they've, good or bad, whatever it is, label whatever, it's an unraveling of everything. So they're ungrounded. The sand is moving beneath their feet. They're just trying. So thank
Trying.
you for holding space for that person, because that is going to happen more and more and more.
Yeah, if I can say something too, sorry. I feel like, again, since Lionsgate, we've been
Mhm.
seeing this like burst of, we've been saying it, like, truth and just wanting to know more, whatever that is. But you said something at the beginning, Pamela, like processes are changing, how you see things, like the way you do things. And I think it's challenging people, that it would feel uncomfortable. So a lot of people are ignoring that. but instead to see that uncomfortability, to see as a new process or a new way you can do some things or a new way to look at things, because it seems like everything is coming up with like duality and you can see it this way or that way, but at the same time you need to like have peace and understand where's your process, how are you going to take away from this and create from this or feel from this. And I feel like we're just seeing new ways coming up and new processes. Again, it's just like it's exciting to see what's going to be the new future essentially, because we are already seeing it in just a short amount of time since it's happened. So it's just really exciting. I'm having new processes in the way I'm doing my website and redoing just the way I see it. It's just like it looks differently. So it's not necessarily different itself, but the way that you see it is, I don't know, it's hard to explain that.
Different.
But
I
it's
understand. I understand
Yeah,
what you
I
mean.
get it.
Then.
yeah.
It's like
So
things
that's what
that
I'm
didn't pop start to pop and connect. And you're like, oh, I get it now.
Because you're seeing it in the 5D, Nicole.
Yeah.
I love that. That's right. But it's like through the challenges that you have to get there, I think is the main thing too, is it's
Yeah.
not just always going to come. It's like, what's your process? You got to
Yeah.
sit with it. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's so interesting that you say that too about, I think, our own challenges when people approach us with that. I've been hearing a lot of people on social media, just what we're seeing in the narrative right out there is a lot of people are over it. They're over the fighting. And it's just unity really is the message. And like you said, Pamela, that's the only way that we're going to ever rise above all this, is to know that these things, left, right, it's all there to challenge whatever was on our path, but to know that we are all sovereign beings meant to find who we really are and to come back to ourselves. And so I'm just hopeful that we can get there. I know hope that we can get there and see it quickly, but who knows what the timeline will be when humanity is faced with these other possibilities that you had mentioned.
Yeah.
And there may be some that never see.
Yeah.
And that's
there will be,
okay.
right.
That's their path. And we just have to hold them with love, because you can feel like you're knocking your head against the wall because you so want someone to see how you see, but it's not about that. It's about just when they're ready and helping them get there. But there are some that, and I think we all probably know somebody who's like,
I'm sitting here with one.
Not really going to get there.
True.
Dina knows that's a kind of an inside joke, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes they're there to assist you on your journey and they're not meant to do that.
Right. They're there to teach you
Right.
something. Yeah. It feels like, oh my God, why am I going through this? But you're learning the most from that person who's popped in, and they may pop back out, but they're there to teach you something. And I've always been taught, we put them there. We said, okay, you're going to pop in, you're going to teach us this, no matter how painful it is. So it's really interesting.
It's like the backdrop people. And
Yes.
I like to use that term too, because it kind of helps you not have like that connection where you feel like you need to like save them essentially, because it's just they're playing that part. That's their role. That's their character in the game.
Yep.
Can you, Nicole, this is everybody. This is Michael, our new member. And he and I met when we met Michael a couple of days ago. We shared some this week we shared some time together, so I got to know him. But you want to introduce yourself? I'm not the facilitator of this call. Danielle Kane is the facilitator of this call.
Sorry, we got so deep into it, but yeah, please introduce yourself.
Again, so I've been sort of a lone wolf most of my life. So I've been like sort of like waking up. I sort of had a very bad time in 2011 and basically shattered my soul, I would say. So I had to rebuild, and I was angry before that, but I got really angry after that. So it's caused a lot of health issues. And when I thought I was fine and I tried to enter society again and do normal things, I would get a chronic illness. So the ingrained trauma was causing me to rethink how I approach things. So I thought I addressed most of the anger in 2016 when I had a heart attack. I had to let go of a lot of anger then. but still, I was still getting more chronic illnesses. And it was only when in 2020 and actually 2021, I quit my job in 2020 and because it was another bad situation. And then in 2021, I started weeding out bad habits like watching bad YouTube and getting rid of gaming, as in video gaming. And then I started getting into Gaia, astrology, uh, like gene keys, all that stuff. So I keep going down the rabbit hole. I just find that when I'm doing that, I get better and better. And then this year, I realized I was talking to one of my supporters, or as in mental health supporters. She's an anti-bullying expert, and she does the SAGE method, right? So that's all about intuition. I also realized when I was doing human design that I'm a manifestor 5/1. I get my decisions through intuitive, and here I am ignoring my intuition for the past, most of my life since I was a kid. I go, well, maybe I should open up the intuition. So I started. I was started having sleep problems in March. So I finally said, well, if I'm gonna lie awake, I'm also start to meditate. So I start meditating. And so in March, I heard cobalt blue in my dream, and I go, why am I dreaming about cobalt blue? So I saw a medium April 4th, which is a year after my wife died, and I found out that my wife was there, but also that Archangel Michael is cobalt blue, and he's one of my guardian angels along with Gabriel. Um, so I keep, and so I'm just keep pushing it forward, and I'm just meditating all the time, and like I'm now the past couple of weeks, I'm writing down all my meditations and writing down all my dreams and all the keywords. I do get clairaudience sometimes. I was getting clairaudience last year. Near my wife died, I'm getting clairaudience for one or a few words. Um, every once in a while, like I had clairaudience this morning.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. That's
Cool.
good. That's
yeah,
good.
the
Yeah.
sentence. And it says, what is your name? What is your game? I go, what the hell
Yeah,
is
but that's pretty cool. 'Cause I
what is
mean,
your name? What is your game? I go, what the
That's
hell is
very
that supposed
cool.
you went from gaming to Gaia, from gaming to Gaia. It's
Yeah,
like,
what is
it's
your name?
like
What is your game? So, and then I had this dream. I was in a parallel world. I was with this management pinstripe suits, and I was talking to this person in this office, and she had a ring on her finger. It looked like a ring, a diamond ring with a black circle in the back. And I go, I'm trying to research that today, and I don't. There's no rings with a black circle
Oh,
with a ring. So I thought it was a black garnet, but I said, what is that? A signature ring? No, I think she says a signet ring. That's what she meant.
well,
A
that's
signet.
the asking your guides again, remember? Like ask your
Yeah,
guides what all these things mean and
yeah.
try to get
So
some more understanding that way. You guys, I'm in the dream group. I had a dream about Prince Edward Island, and I had a dream about a little boy with blonde hair. Tell them where
yeah,
you're from.
Prince Edward Island.
2 weeks
she
ago.
texted me. Pamela texted me and she's like, do you know where this place is? And I'm like, no. And she's like, it just popped up. And I'm like, so we started looking it up and then enter Michael
And he
Yeah,
entered the group at that time.
right after.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Like
yeah,
God.
10 days
That's
yeah,
later.
amazing. I love it.
Yep.
yeah,
And he was a little
yeah,
boy with blonde hair. So this is our
yeah.
first. Well, Denise will tell you what this call is about. Denise, Jesus, Danielle, Denise, isn't that funny? I have a client,
So
Denise.
I do
People
this
call
room
me
on purpose
Denise too.
because
I've been called Denise and
Hey,
Diane. It's so
that's
funny.
so weird. So Danielle will tell you what this call is about, Michael.
okay.
What did you say?
You'll tell him what the call is about. It's our first 5D. His first 5D all day call.
Oh, what 5D is
Oh,
all about?
Yeah.
Oh
oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I actually Pamela posted it the other day. I was like, yeah, she's just like, you gotta like share what this is all about, how it came about. And well, it's funny that you mentioned Archangel Michael because I work with the angels and he's the top
yeah,
archangel that I work with. And
yeah,
if you think about the sky's blue and he
yeah,
surrounds us all the time. And so I
yeah,
always felt comfort in that. So I just had to share that with you because I figured you'd like that.
Oh,
But I started 5D all day. I actually started conversations with my girl Nicole in here, who's Awakening Mass Meditations. She like was this awesome like superstar on Telegram with her Awakening Mass Meditations, and I somehow popped on her page, and we became really good friends. And through that, we started having conversations with other like-minded individuals. And then people are like, do we want to have more conversations on like New Earth and all sorts of stuff? And I'm like, I do, I do. And,
Me,
and,
please.
and then all of a sudden I'm like, gosh, these conversations are so high vibing. Even when we talk about some challenging stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, it's like 5D all day. I'm like, we would just have conversation after conversation after conversation. We would leave feeling great. And I could talk to you all day, Michael. I can already what you're saying just makes me excited because it's just like
Well,
these
the
tools
problem,
along our
the
path.
problem the past month is like I've been really, well, the mood's been down a bit. Maybe that's much Mercury retrograde, but again, I feel this push. I saw a quantum healing therapist on July 23rd, and there's lots of synchronicities with her. But I won't go into that. And I was talking to Stella Yan, she's a Bulgarian from last week, and then there were some synchronicities with her too. And I was talking to Andrea Fitzpatrick. She's a leader. Uh, she teaches leadership professional. And she used to hear people's thoughts when she was a baby. She used to hear. She has a memory of being in the womb, and when she was born, she used to read people's thoughts, but she lost that ability when she was a kid. And that's so and then like I've been syncing up with people like that the past 2 months, right?
Hmm.
So, but now like I'm suffering from psoriatic arthritis again, and again I was talking, it could be ingrained anger again, and I'm surprised I still have anger in me. I thought I get weeded all that stuff out, but again, I'm trying to push through. I'm trying to push through to where I'm like I feel this urge to go all the time. Like I don't I'm bored. Like I need to keep going down the rabbit hole. I've only met this maybe 2 days where I haven't meditated in the past since March. So that's really been really good to do that. But um
Can
I
I
don't
tell
know,
you
I used to
something?
have
I just got something intuitively. I feel like you
yeah.
need sound healing. I think you need
I
a
Well
sound
told him
that's
healing
that.
well
frequency.
that's what I've been seeking, sound healing, right?
We got a
Yeah.
really good
We got
person
a
in
good
here that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
can generate you some
I've
music.
been, and I even wanted to, like, it's like maybe I can actually, because I used to be a broadcaster. I used to do radio, and used to work with Canadian Broadcasting Corporation in the 90s, and I used to took broadcasting. So I used to work with sound all the time, right? So,
Mm.
uh, like I've even like won best audio production in Algonquin College back in '91.
Yeah,
So
I told him about Nicole's sound healing in the portal and
yeah,
She's great.
to
It's amazing.
download that whole library and to
yeah.
utilize that.
So
Um,
I've been using Tibetan bowls since 2022, off and on. I found that when I did that, it really helped me. So if I was feeling a little bit depressed, I do that. I feel refreshed. I actually go into a bit of a trance when I do that. But
Mm.
it's now phasing out where I'm not as, it doesn't work as well as it used to. So before I used to do it for 15 minutes and it would work really good. Now I do it for half an hour and it's like not as good. I still go into a little bit of a trance sort of thing. I'm not falling asleep per se, but like it soothes my nerves and stuff like that. If I'm really having a bad day, I do that,
Yeah.
but I don't
Well,
do
it
it
seems like
now.
there's some
Yeah,
opportunity there. And
yeah.
that's what this is community is all about. It seems like I felt it intuitively right away that you needed some kind of sound. And I honestly think it's from somebody else first, because there's something about arthritis that's a sense of control and holding on to. And if you let go and allow trust, especially with someone's
Oh,
sound
yeah.
healing, because that's
Well,
an
the thing is, my trust was totally shattered in 2011
mhm. Well,
because like I'm trusting a group and they stab me in the back and my boss fires me and 3 days later she devotes herself into my job to save her own ass,
yeah.
yeah,
you know?
there's a lot of
And they
tools to
proceed
help
to
with that.
so
Yeah.
that's you know that was a bad they were attacking my self-esteem for 9 months and I managed to pass like 5 certification exams while they're attacking me.
Yeah.
to prove that I was worthwhile, right? It's like,
Yeah.
It
and
wasn't
yeah, but
about you, Michael, at
yeah,
that point. It was about them.
Yeah.
Like
well, I
when
know,
that, yeah, it was,
and
it was
Who
and
else
I
them.
has a
see that as,
chicken?
yeah, but I see that as a positive because that was the catalyst that got me to this point, right?
Mhm.
I don't,
Yeah.
it's a bad situation, but um uh and it's been 13 years of rebuilding
Yeah.
and it was not soul journey until like 2021 when I moved to this location, right?
Yeah.
Um and so it certainly helped me when my wife transitioned, and I can certainly tell that when the aggressiveness of the ovarian cancer that to her soul would had a plan. It didn't want to didn't want to stay here very long. So, but still, after she died, I had really bad psoriatic arthritis for a year. Like all last year, I couldn't even lift my arms above my head. I had
Mhm.
pain in my shoulders and I barely bend. And I was contemplating suicide in November because of the pain, just briefly, but is that bad? Then in December it sort of dissipated, and then it came back at the beginning of July, and I think because I was from the first relationships or something, and it wasn't going so well, and that triggered my psoriatic arthritis. I
Yeah.
don't know why, but Pamela, we talk about this that I'm not ready for a relationship, and maybe because of that, I'm not sure how that's attached to my anger, but maybe angry because of that. But I mean, there's lots of other physical things that I'm angry about. I'm angry about getting all this. Like I have 4 chronic illnesses that are major,
Yeah.
right? Well, not five, but and 1/5 chronic condition that can't be solved now. So,
So,
and
so
I
you
had
should
cataracts.
definitely,
Yeah,
Yeah. I think that
I was
this
just
is,
gonna say, you can
yeah,
definitely, I would talk, like, I want to let everybody have a chance to check in. But Nicole,
yeah,
I told him how you helped me, how I curated, Michael, I told how I curated sound healing for my brother for his liver, who had a liver transplant, and how you can attune that frequency to help assist with the healing of the body. And so maybe you guys could have an offline talk about
Yeah.
that. I think that would be an amazing thing for you,
I'm
Michael,
already like thinking, I already,
talking about it.
this
Yeah.
is just
cool.
my mind how it works. I already know the frequency
Yeah.
that would do good for your physical pain, all that kind of
Right,
stuff. My mind's already like
Yeah.
there. So I would love
cool.
to help
and
Yeah,
Michael, there
work with
could
you
be
if
a
you'd like to.
time where we could dive a
Mhm.
little bit deeper in some of your things too off this, so we can talk about everybody's month, because that's one of the topics that I wanted to go around and hear from everyone. But I have a lot going on just with what you brought in internally that I want to share with
yeah,
you. So we'll connect on that another
Yeah.
yeah.
And
time.
she's a QHHT
Oh,
Yeah.
practitioner.
yeah,
And I also
Also.
do energy clearing and attachment clearing too. So there's a lot of energy that you're attached to still from the passing, and
yeah,
it's okay.
All right.
But
You
yeah.
we'll
guys
talk about that
connect.
later.
There
Yep.
was there was
Definitely.
potentially
Definitely connect.
an
And
evil attachment in
you can direct
2012.
a message her too.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So let's talk about what this
Direct
month has been
message.
all about. Yeah. So thank you again. But I want to
Yeah,
go over to, let's have Dina, if you don't mind, I'd love to hear from
Yeah.
you. How has this month been for you? Tell me a little bit about something that shifted for you or that you've been working on.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Honestly, since Pamela and I were together in June, that kind of really started the shift. And then she and I have been told that we are to work together every week. And so we've been doing that. We've been really regular, I think, except for maybe a week or two here and there. But each time the energy is stronger, and the guides are saying they're building this bridge, and they're working. I'm feeling, especially at night, they're working on me, and I feel it. Like they told me, ask to feel it, and I'm feeling it. Literally, there are nights that there's so much energy going through my legs, I have to get up and just walk around, or my legs will move on their own. They're twitching. The other day, after our session, Pamela texted and she's like, no, it was right before our session. And she's like, they want you to meditate and ask for them to work on your pineal gland and your crown
Third
chakra,
eye.
third eye.
Third eye.
And so I laid down and did that, and I immediately I don't have sinuses. My sinuses opened up and there was just draining that was going down my throat. And I was like, oh my God, Pamela. And so they were like, yes, and I got on, she and I got together and I was asking the council questions. And of course I said, they'll answer my questions before I ask them. It's so bizarre. Like sometimes
before she even opens her mouth, they answer them.
I will be like, and they'll be like, have we not told you? We're like, okay. And so they've been saying that, and they said that we're building the bridge and that you guys need to keep intermingling, and it's more dire now than ever. So we've been really trying to keep with that.
That word dire.
Dire. The word dire was I usually write keywords down, and then we have to go back and listen to the sessions because they're so powerful. Now they're telling us that we need to take snippets of those sessions and start posting them.
Want to see them?
Yeah, they're really cool.
They want me to channel live. They want me to channel live.
They want that. And so she's been, and Pamela's been, it's just, I can see the progression of how much easier it is for her. Although she still strains in her neck, but it's getting easier for her. And Pamela's unique because she can come in and out of it. Like I'll be talking to the council, and the next minute she and I will be cracking up, like laughing on the floor about something. She'll be like, okay. And then she goes into it, and then she comes out of it. We call them bloopers, weird bloopers. Yeah. But that has really shifted the energy. And I actually I had audio for the first time where I heard them call my name. And I was like, okay, I made that up. And as I always do. And then I asked them, and they were like, before I even asked the question, they answered, yes, that was us. That was us. So it all started with that toning in my ear, and then it's progressed from there. So a lot has happened, and they have been telling us people are looking for true, authentic voices that they can trust. And that is why Pamela and I together will be able to connect, because we are truly coming from an authentic place, which is why they wanted us to see Lee Harris, because they said he comes from an authentic place. So it all like loops together. It's really fascinating.
That's very fascinating. Yeah. And then tell them how they called us to go back and watch the week before's channeling that we didn't even remember. We don't remember what's happening. And they told us to go back and watch the week before. Well, the week before was on a Sunday.
Yeah.
2 days later is when they kicked me in the ass and showed me the bird falling into the window, which made me do the post on TikTok, which made us go viral. They told us it was all going to happen that Sunday.
Yeah.
It was all in the recorded message. It's amazing.
For the first time, I've been so into it, I don't remember. And I used to remember all my questions. Now I'm like, I don't even remember what we said. Like, we're both in this zone. And so they kept bugging me, and I'm like, oh, Pamela, like, they told us to go back and listen. And we're like, oh my God, how much time do we have to go back now and listen? And it was chock full of everything that happened that week, and telling Pamela to work through her fear, and that there will be more people that gravitate that do not to focus on those. The exact thing that happened that whole week, they had told us on that Sunday. And we were like mind blown. Like we went through it together. It was amazing. So that's the other thing. We go back and listen a lot.
Good update, Dee Dee.
That's
good
so
update.
Nice. I thought of you, Dina. I thought of you today because
do you post your TikTok on YouTube as well? Are they on both?
Yeah, they're both. They're on both. And Megan is chatting.
TikTok, but I'm not missing anything, right?
No, I'm. Megan is chatting with us from YouTube right now.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. We love you. Megan takes my TikToks and she posts them on YouTube. So there might be like a 24-hour difference in time, but they're all on there. And then I created a group inside the portal to take all of that and post it in there. So it's inside the portal.
And that's called, what is it now?
It's called Global Insights, Predictions, Visions, and Download. I might change the name of it. I don't know. But most recently, TikTok, the guides channeled when I was channeling, and I go back and read it. They said, I'm going to be channeling live.
Mhm.
And what I'm going to be doing is just showing teasers of that stuff. And I'm going to be doing the live channeling inside of the community.
Yep.
It's going to be like not a telegram or anything, but it's going to be an
Update.
uncensored, like safe place for
Good.
people to come. It's going to be a home for everyone, is what
Like,
I've
here's
understood.
what, and they
Yeah, what-
they also said, and Danielle, I'll go back because I know you were like Dina, and we catch up, but they said, and I wrote it down, Pamela, if I get this right, we were like, well, if these events start happening and we're supposed to be communicating, how will we know? And they said, you will not be found, you will be seen.
Mm.
And it was one of those lines that you're
I
just
know
like,
Susan's like, whoa, it's so powerful.
it was
It's
so,
such
it
a
just gives
small
me
little
chills to this
statement.
day. And we were like, wow, wow. So there's certain lines like that, but
Well, I wanted
so
to
we're
say
like,
that we're getting the most views that we've had live today.
Yay!
We've got 5. It's not a ton yet, but like I
I
said,
know, but it's
Hey.
awesome.
start
and,
somewhere.
so
It
I
starts
wanted to share
somewhere.
that.
It
Yeah.
starts somewhere.
That's amazing.
So
Yay.
Danielle, you were saying you called me
Yeah.
and
I thought of you because in the middle of the night, my left thigh was screaming at me. And I'm thinking, what is this? Is this what Dina's
Yeah.
talking about? This restless leg syndrome or whatever. So I had to go grab my stick. I have a stick roller.
Yes,
We
I've done
call
that.
it and I had to like dig in there, and it wasn't like a normal muscle pain.
Nope.
I did some rolling. I put some CBD cream, and I went back to bed. But I'm like, it was like intense, and it woke me
It's
up right up in
different.
my bed.
Yep. And it's not like you felt before. That's what I've been getting.
I've never felt
And-
like that before.
Yep.
Mhm. They're working on your
a little
energetic
painful.
body.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I definitely think it was like
Mhm.
something of a higher vibration.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
But you
not
know,
always
Dina,
comfortable.
when you said you had that drainage, when
Yes.
I came back, I've had it for a week. It's not sinuses,
No,
and so I'm really glad you said that.
Yeah.
But
the
it's
back
just
of your
this
throat.
constant draining and this tickle.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Yes.
ask them, everybody on the call, ask them to just, everyone watching, ask them to start working on your pineal gland,
Yep.
to start opening it up. I mean, Nicole,
You'll feel
yours,
it.
forget it. Nicole, you don't have to do that.
Hers is open.
Hers is like, hers is like, hers is
I
like
was already
that.
asking them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, for sure. Keep doing it. Keep
Yeah.
asking for the healings for the, especially
Yeah.
Michael. Michael's going through a major crash course in opening up all of that stuff.
I'm in the deep
But
end right now.
yeah, you're in the deep end. You're like
But
this.
you're
Well,
you're in
you
it. You're
found
just
us.
in it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Just got to
treading
get
water
through
with you
it.
guys.
Yeah, you found us, and we're your little life preserver now.
This is such a
Yeah.
great
You're like,
group.
come
I'm
on,
telling
Michael,
you.
this way.
And we all like are with you. So just know
Yeah,
that
we're
you
all here
have
with you.
a group of people that really care and like love talking
Yes.
to you.
Yeah.
I want to
Uh,
hear from Susan and Nicole, though. I hate to pass you by, but we only have about 14 more minutes left.
Gosh.
Susan, tell us a little bit about what you've been working on this month or what you've
Oh,
experienced. What's happening.
I think I touched on that when we first came on the call. That was before Dina and Michael were
Hmm.
here.
Mhm.
But it's just really it's a knowingness that we're finally there, that
Mhm.
we've reached that tipping point, and we have that choice in how we respond. So it's just
Beautiful.
and you know, I think I mentioned before, this past year I sort of withdrawn because I've been focusing on my beingness, who I
Yeah.
am inside. And then I'm now getting this really strong call. It's time to move from beingness into doingness. And
Mm.
I'm not quite sure what that doingness is. Go back what I was doing before, doing more soul realignment and so forth. I'm not sure, but that's where I'm at.
Ooh, it's time to tap into the guide, Susan. It's
That's right.
time. They'll tell you.
Oh,
You are so different, though. I mean, you're always lovely to see and everything, and I enjoy your company. But this moment you were on, it was like you were just bright, like
Right.
super, super
sure
bright.
are.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I'm happy to see it, and I'm happy for you. It
You have
sounds
a
like an
really
amazing
bright aura
experience.
too around
Mhm.
you. Your skin is very very clean
Your
and
eyes are open and bright.
yeah, you look very clean and cleared for sure.
Well, that's nice to hear based upon my age. So,
I'll take it.
We'll
Yes.
all take
much 80, you like to hear that.
Yeah.
it.
For sure. We all like to hear that.
All right, Nicole, tell me what has been going on in your world, my friend?
Oh man. Okay. Well, I feel like I'm on the journey with y'all, everybody. It's just like been nonstop. And for me, Okay, so I feel like I've been going through these waves of like, I have all these ideas and I can't wait to share with the world, and I need to like figure out what that looks like. And then I go into like this processing mode of like, okay, how's this going to look? And I don't really, it's like this, it's kind of hard to explain, but then it doesn't really go there yet because I'm stuck in this vision. And so I'm holding a crystal right now because I'm literally vibrating out of my body right now because of our conversation. I'm trying to ground because I'm just like filled with information right now, I feel like, to share, and I'm working on what that looks like. But lately, I've been coming into contact with information specifically relating to sound healing and for instance, a video about all the bells that used to be on our planet and how we used to have hundreds and thousands of bells everywhere. And the true secret of those bells were keeping us in resonance and in frequency. And it was just a huge
Ooh.
agenda to hide them and
Wow.
take them away
this
from
is
the
true.
world.
Tartaria.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just one thing that's just coming into my mind of just like,
What to
we
do next?
need to recalibrate. We need these frequencies to be keeping us in alignment. And it's just been like eating at me to like what that really means and what to share for that. And so I've been coming up with the idea to come up with different little mini albums of various topics, let's say. So mini albums for chakras, or even just for the cleansing of the planet, or whatever that is, because the calling for sound healing right now is just like, it's so huge. And
It
to
is.
really bring in harmony, to bring in the correct vibrational resonances through our organ systems, through everything, because that is what's going to create the alignment to attract and magnetize what needs to happen here on the physical. And so it's just that frequencies that need to be in harmony and all over the world. I'm going to get emotional talking about it because it's so important to me right
Oh,
now.
good.
Everybody,
Come up.
Look at you.
Mine's coming. My heart's not popping, but I'm popping for you.
I feel it. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just really excited of what that looks like and what that means. But just to everybody out there, sound healing, even the hum, create the om as often as possible, create your own vibrational resonance within. Tibetan bowls, like we were saying, a tuning fork, whatever it is, get it and practice it, sit in it, and you're not just going to heal yourself, you will be healing the world at the same time. And so that's kind of where I've been the last few weeks.
It's amazing.
I'm so happy.
The
Amazing.
great thing about Nicole is she can see the waves too. I don't know if you want to share a little bit to the group about how deep frequency affects everybody, because she works on individuals all the time. Can you just share a little bit about that?
For sure. So I'm an EEG technologist, or a neurodiagnostic tech, looking at brainwaves in real time and how various environments or ingestives, anything really shifts our state of mind. And it's really amazing to see in real time, just in a drowsy state or a relaxed state, how we can come into a beautiful alpha theta, which is relating to manifesting and healing, versus taking like medication and it's putting us in this really high artificial fast awkward beta brainwaves. It's hard to really explain that, but it's just amazing to see how everything we do, everywhere we go, anything that we're involved in and putting into our body, it will immediately change your brainwaves. It's actually faster than the speed of light. It can't even really be tested, but it's just like the intention. It's your intention. It happens so quickly. So whatever you're desiring, do it, and it will change your vibration. It will change your brainwaves, and it is literally all frequency, and you have that power just with intention. So yeah, it's really cool to see that in real time.
I need some intention for the mosquitoes. Either you can create a sound healing so I can vibrate them away from me.
There actually is a frequency that helps ward them off. Yeah,
I need it.
There is. There's probably
I need it.
Yeah, there's a frequency for just about everything. In fact, I remember even when I was young, our dog wouldn't stop barking. She had a crazy barking problem. We had this little box that just would pick up her barking and would reverse and emit a really high pitch frequency sound that would disrupt her, and she would stop barking immediately, just kind of like a reverse. But think of that. What does that even mean? Vibrations all around us, surrounding us. And how is that influencing you? So just to be aware of all these frequencies that are, the buzzing light in your room or whatever. That's just an example. It's just constantly around us, and to be aware of what is coming in, it really does affect what you're going to be processing and dealing with.
So amazing.
It is
Brian
amazing.
saw a video about the crickets and like their vibration, like tuned in, and it
Yeah.
was like a symphony
It is.
Yes.
music.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I was
We are
out
all
last
a
night
symphony.
listening to the
Yes, we are.
cicadas. And I was in that state of just like, I love that sound.
Ah, it's amazing.
So
It is.
beautiful.
As you were talking about how you can change your body, and I don't even know what you were talking about. I thought of Michael's wife, and I thought of Michael, and then my whole body filled up with vibration. And I feel like this is being said for you, Michael. I really feel like this is being said for you.
I instantly felt that.
Yeah,
That was
it
the
could
first
be.
thing that came
I feel
internally.
guilty that I've taken too much time.
Well,
it's
our
okay.
call is over almost.
Yeah, and
But you
that's
have
why
a community. Yes.
but we love hearing sometimes what you had to share too is so important for others out
For
there
someone.
to be brave, because you shared some very intimate information, and I want to honor
Okay.
you and thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
It sparks
well,
things within everybody, so it's
Yep,
good.
it
Yeah.
absolutely does.
Nicole, you have like there's so many amazing things that I see in your future. And there's so many amazing things that you and I can do together. And I can't wait to do them all, to just
Yeah.
to help facilitate you being available to the masses, because the work that you do is just incredible. And before my TikToks that just started, the sound healings were like the highest. Viewer, they get the
Yeah.
most likes.
That's awesome.
Because
Oh,
people do. They resonate with them.
They're so
Literally.
beautiful. I love them.
It sounds really great with the sound healing in the background. I wanted to say that as well. There's some kind of it draws you in, and
Yeah.
it calms your just like, I guess, your frequency, just like the purpose of it, whatever you
Yeah.
have going on. It's beautiful.
Because
Yeah.
it's Nicole. It's from Nicole. It's an
Yeah.
extension of her. Wait, I'm sorry, but this is very relevant. Dina, can you please share the comment that happened today about your voice?
Oh my God, you are so killing me, because I literally just was thinking that right this second.
Of course you
Because-
are.
Oh, that freaks me out. So we work a lot on Zoom, so every day I'm on with one of my colleagues who's a lovely woman, and certain days she's at home and we talk about a lot of things. And she always sits at this table, and like her husband back, forth, so he'll hear little pieces of the conversation, just like my husband will hear things, and he'll be like, what were you doing? What were you saying? So she's like, this morning, she goes, I just have to call you. And I had to tell you something. It's personal and it's off record. I'm like, what, Steph? She's like, okay, this is going to sound really weird, but last night I'm cooking dinner, and my husband says to me, honey, every day you talk to this woman, and every day I hear her voice and I kind of feel guilty, but he's like, I am so pulled in by her voice and her frequency. He's like, something comes over me and my whole mood and my whole vibe changes. And she's like, well, that has to be Dina. And he's like, I don't know what it is, but it puts me in a completely different state. And I'm just fascinated. I feel like I need to tell you this. And she's like, oh, that's Dina. Like, she has great energy or whatever. But she's like, Dina, my husband, he's like a very serious guy and like a, banking kind. She's like, he doesn't want to talk like this. But he's like, I literally need her to make a tape of her voice, because it's something like I'm drawn to it. And she was recalled to tell me that. So I texted Pamela. I'm like, what is with that?
It's true.
That's amazing. There's something about somebody has something for everybody. It's like a
frequency, or
there's a frequency in it,
Yeah, but
and maybe that's his next level of not being so serious. It's like tapping into that side of him that your voice is calling to him to come out.
That's exactly right.
And
It's
what's
like
funny
it
to me
it
too
was
is
crazy, because his wife, I think his wife
information.
has a beautiful voice. Like she's very calming to me. But no, it's just funny. She's like, he literally was like, I need to tell you, I've been feeling this for many months now. And I was like, I
I'm in
swear,
love with
Steph,
that
like,
voice on the other side of the Zoom. Who is
Yeah.
that mysterious woman?
I know. It was like, who's blabbering on one more time? But yeah,
But you
it
know
was,
what? Sometimes you have that voice, like, like Sigourney Weaver and all that. They have these voices on these
Yeah.
programs. You have one of those voices. Like, and
Yeah.
some people do have that voice that are great on advertising or just whatever, great on the message. So
Yeah.
you might be the voice,
what I
of
was gonna
spirit
say.
calling to draw people in because
like
there's
the
something that they
intention.
need to hear.
It comes with
Wait,
the
Nicole,
intention
what-
too. I'm sure what you're
yes.
talking about has a lot of information and heavy just intention
Yeah.
coming through
Yeah.
that it's picked up just by the soul and the DNA because it resonates with truth.
True.
But I was also going to say, oh, something came to me. It's kind of random, but super cool. There was a musician who was recording music and he wanted it to be perfect. And he recorded it over and over, but it just didn't sound right to him, even though the notes were all the same notes, same notes. But it was the intention he was putting through while he was making the music that was shifting the sound of it, even though the notes are exactly the same. But it wasn't until he got the intention right, where he was in tune with it, that it felt whole and one. And so
Wow.
again,
That's
that's just
cool.
intention again, it comes around. That's the theme, I guess.
It
It
is.
is.
It's so cool.
my
It's so
gosh.
cool.
That is amazing. Well, is everyone feeling high vibing for like the weekend?
Heck
We
yeah.
are.
Yeah, sweet, sweet. Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, we are at the end of our conversation for today, but that doesn't mean that it ever ends. So if we ever want to talk sit offline, we could continue our 5D conversations, but we will be back next month. So do we just know the 27th of September, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'll be here. So I welcome any members of Spirit Calling to please come join us live on the call, and or anyone else who's just curious and wants to listen. They can also listen on the YouTube spirit-calling.com. Pamela, is there anything I'm missing?
No, just keep the vibe up,
Keep the
everybody.
vibe up. And
Keep
thank
your
you again for
intentions. Yeah, sorry, go
thank you
ahead.
again for letting me hold this space for our community and for giving me this opportunity to speak with all of you. I really enjoy
You're
it.
welcome. You are very welcome, and I love you. I
Always
love you all.
fun.
Love you. Love you guys.
Love you
Love you
all.
guys.
Thank
Love
you.
you all,
Nice to
guys.
see you, meet you, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a lovely day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.